What was the question? Movsar Evloev? Who is this guy? 9-fight unbeaten streak in the UFC? Dude, I can't remember any of his fights. Who'd he beat? Former bantamweight champion Aljamain. Diego Lopez. The guy who just fought for the belt, Diego Lopez? Arnold Allen? Danny Ige, that's a good win. Listen, tell the kid, tell the kid the best I can do for the kid. Aaron Pico, co-main event, 5 rounds. What the fuck are we doing? Boys, I'm fired up. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Excuse my language. Ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? How's your mom? How's your family? We are wasting a shitload of time. Movsar Evloev, 9-fight unbeaten streak. 4 wins over top 10 opponents. Former champion, guy who just fought for the belt. Best you could do for me is Aaron Pico, 5-round co-main event. It's getting really ridiculous. First of all, the Movsar hate is a bit much. Because he doesn't have a lot of finishes, but he's not as boring as you guys say he is. You know, he had the same narrative as Merab Dvalishvili. Now, Merab Dvalishvili, after his Umar fight, has shown he can have entertaining fights. You know, him and O'Malley wasn't that entertaining because, quite frankly, Merab was the only one doing shit. Yeah, O'Malley landed a deep kick in the 5th, and it got real interesting, but O'Malley was throwing one big punch, getting taken down, not trying to get up to his feet. The hate against Movsar Evloev is crazy because it's really disgraceful for the sport. And you can take it how you want. I'm a black man in America. You can take it how you want. I mean, no ill intent to it. And I think a lot of my Mexicans will agree. The only reason we're getting this is because Yair Rodriguez is Mexican. In Guadalajara, Mexico, September 13th. It's because Yair Rodriguez is Mexican. It's a problem. That is a fucking problem, especially when I show you this. Yair Rodriguez in his last, let's say 6 fights. He's 3-3 in his last 6 fights. He's 1-2 in his last 3. You give him the number 1 contender fight against Max Holloway, loses, clearly. Beats Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega's shoulder pops out of socket. You can say Yair Rodriguez caused that, so okay, cool. Then you give him an interim title fight against Josh Emmett, who shouldn't have been there in the first place because he didn't beat Calvin Kattar. I'm still stuck on that. Subs Josh Emmett. Let's unify the belts. Alex Volkanovski finishes him in 3 rounds. So he's finished. This was 3 fights ago. Finished in the 3rd round. Give him Brian Ortega. He got broken and finished again in the 3rd round. That's 2 finishes that he's on the wrong side of in his last 3 fights. He beats 40-year-old Patricio Pitbull, who's coming off of a loss from Bellator, making his UFC debut. And he gets a title shot. Didn't even finish him, gets a title shot. There's been 2 finishes in Yair's last 3 fights. And then he was on the wrong side of both of them. 1 fight win streak, championship opportunity. What the fuck are we doing? Movsar Evloev. His last 4 fights, Danny Ige, Diego Lopez, Arnold Allen, Aljamain Sterling. Dude, I'm dead serious. Lerone Murphy is closer to a title shot than Yair Rodriguez from beating Danny Ige and from beating Josh Emmett. He's closer to a title shot. I don't think he should get it, but he's closer to a title shot than Yair Rodriguez. Gene Silva is closer to a title shot than Yair Rodriguez. Diego Lopez getting a rematch against Alexander Volkanovski. He's closer to that than Yair Rodriguez is to a title shot. This is entirely disgraceful to the sport. Entirely disgraceful to the sport. Let's look at some Movsar Evloev tweets. Congratulations on an excellent performance. You're a true champion. Now let's see what your word is worth. Alexander Volkanovski has been pushing for the Movsar fight. He recognizes that's the fight. That makes the most sense. Movsar goes on to say, I beat Diego Lopez, Aljamain Sterling, Arnold Allen, Dan Ige. No one has a better resume than me at 145 except the champion. Facts. This is our facts. I have the longest winning streak in the featherweight division. Facts. Then he tweets this yesterday. If you're a UFC fighter and believe you're the best in the world, then you have to fight every fight they throw at you. No risk, no reward. See you guys in July. It's on. And then we're like, well, We know Volk's not fighting in July. Abu Dhabi. What's going on? Then he goes on to say today, I told the UFC I will fight anyone they want. And inshallah, after I win, I cannot be denied anymore. At Dana White. And then this gets announced. What are we... excuse me? Yair Rodriguez versus Aaron Pico is the fight. If you're going to give Aaron Pico a top fight in the UFC. You should actually fight Yair Rodriguez. Excuse me? As you know, they're targeting Diego Lopez and Gene Silva for the New Orleans card. But that's the fight that we all thought, dude, there's some beef there. Let's do Diego Lopez versus Yair Rodriguez. There's beef there. You could do that in Guadalajara, Mexico. Yair Rodriguez is getting a title shot because he's Mexican. And he's not even the biggest fighter in the UFC that Mexico has to offer. That's Brandon Moreno. By far. Dude, nobody gives a fuck about Yair Rodriguez. Besides the fact that he can throw, he has a nice front kick. He has a nice kick to the body. He has a nice question mark. He can throw it in kickboxing range. Watch out. That just means he can land a fluky fucking head kick and beat Volk, riding a one-fight winning streak against Patricio Pitbull, who has how many wins in the UFC? 0! 0! And as UFC fans, why do we accept mediocrity? I love that we're getting pushback on this, but not enough pushback was on this. This is mediocrity too. This shit wasn't exciting. We've seen this already as well. Sean O'Malley riding, how many fights has he won? 0 fight win streak. And he was not a dominant champion where he deserves an immediate rematch. But I guarantee you this, if Merab loses his belt to Sean O'Malley, no rematch. Just like Bilal's getting no rematch. No rematch from Merab, who's on a, I'm rounding, I'm not really sure, on a 12-fight win streak over legends. Over Henry Cejudo. Over O'Malley. Over Umar. Over Peter Yan. Over Jose Aldo. Over Michael Morales. Michael Morales. It's not his name. Marlon Moraes. Sorry. Nope. The UFC fans want to see it. They're pushing forward. Yeah, they're fucking Nelk boys. They're pushing forward. Dude, this is a badass fight. July 7th. Merab Dvalishvili is defending his title against O'Malley in the rematch. This time he's going to have 2 hips. Allegedly. This time he's going in with no injuries. Allegedly. Because we saw the crutches. I saw those crutches. This is going to be a badass fight. And then you got this guy who can't even get a fucking fight. Mateusz Gamrot is what you offered this man? The number 1 ranked in the world? They need to make him versus Patty. It's a fight we want to see. But it's really disgraceful to the sport. Then you got John Jones doing what he's going to do. I'm going to make a separate video on that. But you got John Jones, who's clearly using again. That's something very serious too. I wouldn't joke around about that. Or he's just drunk out of his mind. Look at his eyes. Look at John. John, are you there? Hello? Nobody's home. My team has global. UFC has a real problem. This shit is disgraceful. Like, this shit really has me worked up. And you're wasting on... Bulk doesn't have a lot of fights left. And you're spending one on a Yair Rodriguez rematch. It's like John Cena. He's on a retirement tour right now. You don't have a lot of John Cena matches left. R-Truth gets a John Cena match? Nobody's decided for this fight. Nobody's decided for this fight. I check Alex's Twitter, nothing. Check Yair's Twitter, nothing. And silence means there's a fight announcement coming. Guadalajara, Mexico. UFC Noche. Bro, put this motherfucker on a co-main event. I love Gene Silva versus Diego Lopez. That's actually the fight that I care about more. I care about that fight more. But if you're gonna give this motherfucker a co-main event while Volk headlines, give this motherfucker a co-main event against Diego Lopez. Please. Or make him the fucking feature fight. And let's put Alex and Magomed on there. Oh, nope. I'm thinking about Abu Dhabi. Alex Magomed, let's put that on Abu Dhabi with Mavzar. No. Well, yeah, now. But Mavzar and Alex, you could have did that in Mexico. And you could have had the number one contender fight as the co-main. He's literally getting a title shot because he's Mexican. And if you don't see the problem with that, I don't know what to tell you. Like, comment, subscribe, share this to somebody I know they enjoy just like you did. Maybe you won't. Who gives a fuck? You can go home. Can't get out of here. Whatever I say. You heat.